And we welcome you back to Indianapolis, Indiana. 2015 World Series. The road leads to Williamsport, but you got to get through Indy first. It's a Midwest Regional elimination game between Iowa and Missouri at Stokely Field here in Indy. Very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Weekley. Happy to be alongside Rusty Enzor, the slugging middle of the lineup bat for the Tennessee Volunteers. And hey, both of these teams came to Indianapolis with hopes of winning this regional and going on to Williamsport. But if we get down to serious business today, this is an elimination game.
It is, Dave, but these kids are having a great time. We've seen a lot of tremendous baseball with all these teams in both regionals here. But I expect a lot of drama, especially on a game it's really a winner-take-all today.
Certainly is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the elimination bracket. And there it is. Games today. Missouri and Iowa will be underway in just a moment. And a little bit later on this afternoon, Kansas and Nebraska will square off on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app in another elimination game. Rusty, both of these teams played well in a losing effort. Iowa last night, a late rally, just didn't have quite enough to come all the way back against Minnesota.
Yeah, they were down early, but battled back to make it close late against Minnesota. Skylar Cardenas smacked a two-run single. That was back in the third, and that brought Iowa just a little bit closer in the fifth. Jordan Graves went yard, a two-run home run, and Iowa's right on the doorstep. Iowa has hit 3 home runs in 2 regional games. They've scored 18 runs on 18 hits. Iowa will need that offense to advance today.
And what about Missouri?
Well, Missouri played the actual first game of the Midwest Regional back on Sunday, a tight one against Nebraska, went extra innings. In fact, in the 7th, it was a pitcher's duel, just 3 hits per team. Missouri gave up a run in the top of the 7th to lose a close game, 3-2.
All right, so we think we've got a good one for you this afternoon. It's an elimination game, Iowa and Missouri. The weather is perfect. We're back to Indy to start it in just a moment. It's a Chamber of Commerce day here in Indianapolis. Temperature 81 degrees, winds out of the north, and quiet right now, 8 miles an hour. Partly cloudy is the forecast, not looking for any rain. And up on the mound, Cale McAllister will start things off. And there's his numbers against Nebraska earlier in this tournament. He's a 13-year-old, a control pitcher. Rusty, he's looking to get off to a quick start.
Yeah, he's one of the top guys. He's a leader. And head coach Eric Parker says he really does a nice job hitting his spots. Evidence right there with a pair of strikeouts and just one inning pitched back on Sunday.
Trenton Berkheimer will lead things off, the left fielder. Iowa in their white uniforms today. And there's a hot shot down into the right field corner, and that's a base hit on the very first pitch of the ball game.
Well, we talked about how offensive this Iowa club has been, Dave, and they have really brought the bats to this tournament here in Indianapolis. They have hit 3 home runs, as I mentioned a moment ago, as a club, and they can really hit up and down the lineup.
Here's the lineup. Berkheimer with a base hit, followed by Hall, Graves, Truitt, Cardenas, Shannon, Gaggle, Dolphin, and Feldman. There's a called strike to Hall. First game of the tournament, Hall cracked a grand slam. McAllister rocks and deals. It's fouled straight back, and the count is 0-2. All right, Rusty. 2 days ago at this field, we had a Sports Center Top 10 highlight. Yesterday, we had a perfect game.
Yep.
What do you got planned for today?
I tell you, maybe a walk-off hit, maybe something dramatic towards the end. And I think in all 4 of the games that are going on today, all 4 elimination games, as I mentioned, I think you're going to see a lot of effort, and somebody's going to do something dramatic. First game today on the other field was a 1-run game.
I'll give you my guess in just a moment.
Okay.
Here's the 2-1 to Hall.
You're probably going to say a triple play or something.
Well, that would be something. But Missouri features Blake Smith, who's believed to be the fastest player in this tournament. So I'm gunning for an inside-the-park home run today.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That could happen.
Here's the 2-2 to Hall. And we'll do it all again. Now, the wind has picked up just in the last couple of moments, and it's blowing out towards left field. Outfield straight away for Hall. Wide open stance, right-handed batter. Here's the next pitch, and the count is full at 3-2. Jordan Graves, who hit a 2-run homer last night against Minnesota, is on deck. Berkheimer at first. Here's the payoff to Hall. Collected at second base, and that's going to be an infield base hit. Tough play for Garrard, and 2 hits to start the ball game for Iowa. Let's take a look at the defense. Woodmansee, Smith, and Culver left to right. Goddard, Gaiman, Garrard, Weathers third to first, and McAllister and Parker, the battery at the moment for Missouri. Graves really put a charge in one yesterday for a 2-run homer to left center. Reaches out, could be 2. And that's going to be an error on Gaiman, and everybody's safe and the bases are loaded.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to show you some textbook baseball IQ right here. Watch the guy at second. That's Trenton Berkheimer. He hesitates and gets in the sight line of that ground ball to shortstop Cole Gaiman right there. And I think that's the reason why he lost sight of it for just a second, bobbled it, and that little hesitation by Berkheimer caused that play to materialize. And now Iowa with the bases loaded and nobody out. And I think the conversation right now amongst the umpire crew is, did that ball actually hit the runner? He said no.
Tony Calcagno is our home plate umpire. Mike Deming at first, Kenton Bottoms at second, Bob Tollefson is at third.
That base running, base running is a part of the game, Dave, I think that's sorely overlooked. it's so important. It doesn't really get any attention. That was a big league play by Trenton Berkheimer.
Truitt at the plate. Ball one. Zach Truitt moves up in the batting order for this game. Randy Shannon moving his son, R.J. Shannon, down into the 6 hole. So Truitt, a right-handed stick. Bases loaded, nobody out. Just underway in this elimination game. McAllister's pitch. And that is a fair ball down the left field line. Going to score at least 2. And so 2-base hit for Truitt. Berkheimer and Hall score, and it's 2-0 early. Still nobody out here in the top of the first for Iowa.
Well, head coach Rusty Shannon shaking up his lineup. Even though his team has really produced a lot of runs, he moves his son down to the 6th hole and moves Zach Truitt up to the cleanup spot where R.J. Shannon has been for the first 2 games. And boy, did that really pay off right there. The ball right down the line does a nice job, or did a nice job of getting that bat head out. And that was a close one right down the line. Good call by the umpire. 2 quick runs by Iowa.
Well, these games are only 6 innings long. And the team that jumps out to an early lead obviously has a big advantage. Eric Parker just went out to the mound to just try to settle down his pitcher, settle down the infield. Skylar Cardenas, the right fielder, steps in. 2 runners in scoring position, still nobody out. McAllister rocks and deals. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and yes, he did go around. Strike 1. Cardenas right up on top of the plate. Fouls it away. It's 0-2. Cardenas had a 3-run homer in the first game of this tournament for Iowa. Obviously, McAllister would love to get a punch out here, Rusty.
Yeah, and he had a triple in the game yesterday.
One and 2. McAllister already up to 14 pitches, and he has not picked up an out yet in this frame. Here comes the 1-2. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McAllister. And it's ball 3. Berkheimer led off the inning with a base hit to right. Hall reached on an infield single. Graves loaded the bases on a shortstop error, and Truitt brought home 2 with a double down the left field line. Here's the payoff. Fouled away. Randy Shannon, coach in the third base coach's box. Cardenas do another payoff. And it's a foul ball.
Pretty good at bat right here by Cardenas for a couple of reasons. Number one, he fell behind in the count. He's fouled off the last couple of pitches, but you see the 8th pitch of the at bat. That is key because of the pitch counts here at Little League. And we'll get into those rules as this game goes on.
Swing and a miss. A big out for Missouri. 1 away.
Yeah, it's a huge out. Cale McAllister tried to backdoor him on a couple of 2-strike pitches and finally got him on strikes right there. That's a huge first out. You're right, Dave. This would be huge if he could try to get out of this inning with no further damage.
R.J. Shannon, the coach's son, steps in. Deaf since birth, one of the leaders on this team. Fouls that ball away, 0-1. says his favorite player is Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs.
Well, he's a first baseman, so he picked a good one, that's for sure.
McAllister not out of the woods yet. 0-2 after that foul ball.
Probably saw him play in AAA in Iowa.
Probably did. Yeah, we were talking yesterday about Des Moines and the Iowa Cubs. The AAA, the Chicago Cubs AAA affiliate is there. A lot of major league players from Des Moines. Jeremy Hellickson is from Des Moines. Here's the 0-2 from McAllister. Shannon fouls it away and stays alive. He's in protection mode now at 0-2.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that RJ's been deaf since birth. The entire team has learned how to sign to communicate with him, and it's been a huge inspiration.
Whew. Just missed.
That's his dad in the third base coach's box. And I can tell you from experience, Dave, when your son's up there with 2 strikes, it's just as hard on you. There he is. There's Rusty Shannon, a roofer, owns a roofing company.
2-2.
He'd like for his staff to be working a little bit more without the boss for at least the rest of the week. I'm sure he'd be happy with that.
Here comes the 25th pitch from McAllister, and it's a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by McAllister.
Well, backdoored him right there by Cale McAllister. Really nice 2-strike pitch, and now he's got a chance to get out of the inning. Watch this backdoor on the breaking ball. Great pitch.
Gaggle is next.
All right, so McAllister started the last batter with fewer than 20. So if he comes out of the game right now, he would be eligible. Technically, he would have thrown 20 or fewer pitches. By rule, he would be eligible to pitch tomorrow should Missouri win in advance.
And he will come out of the game.
So again, he started that at bat with fewer than 20. So they're going to make a pitching change. Right now, each team only has 1 pitcher that is ineligible. So both staffs in pretty good shape arm-wise.
Gaiman will go to the mound. He started the game at short. And McAllister leaves the mound and will go to first base. McAllister's responsible for the 2 men left on base, but he was able to get back-to-back strikeouts to get the first 2 outs of this inning. Cardenas and then R.J. Shannon looking.
Well, so far in this tournament here in Indianapolis, Cale McAllister has pitched 1 2/3 innings with 4 strikeouts. That's pretty good.
Elimination game for these 2 teams. Talking to Missouri's coaching staff before the game, they felt like they played well in their first game, just a little nervous. They were the first team to play.
Yeah, they had to warm up, and then they had the opening ceremonies, and then they played the very first game, and it was a tight one. I think both teams had some jitters. It was a pitcher's duel. Both teams only had 3 hits apiece. And, you know, Missouri is excited about getting to the plate here in the bottom of the first. They have a very, very good offensive club, much like Iowa. They just haven't been able to display it so far.
Weathers moves to shortstop for Missouri. And now we're back at it. Gaggle takes a look at a ball inside, ball 1. Zach Truitt with a 2-run double in this inning to produce the 2 runs for Iowa. 2 runners in scoring position. Gaggle swings and misses. It's 1-1. Right-handed bat right up on top of the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike, 2 out, 2-0, just underway, top of the first. Check swing roller to shortstop. Run will score, and now the ball gets away, and another runner is coming in. It was a ball to the deep hole that Weathers got a hold of, couldn't make the throw in time to get Gaggle, who beats the Rap at first, and 2 runs will score. A collision on the bases. We'll see how they rule this.
Here's the key. The collision is between the third baseman. The ball had already, you had a runner hitting the third baseman. Now the ball's already gotten beyond the third baseman, so you figure there's not going to be interference because the third baseman had already had a chance to field the baseball.
Right. Gaggle did not advance on that throw across the diamond. Weathers wasn't ready for the ball when the ball was thrown to third base. He was talking to the third base umpire. Calcagno is the home plate umpire. Deming at first, Bottoms at second, Tollefson at third. We've had some interesting situations. How about last night? We had a play where a runner was on second base and was hit by a batted ball.
That's right. That's right. Now, again, when you get interference, if the third baseman, in that case, Eli Goddard, was getting ready to field the baseball and the runner ran into him, it would be interference because you have to give the fielder a chance to field the baseball. But you see, the ball is already past the third baseman, so you can't call interference, at least on that part of the play. We'll see how they rule it thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to call the ball dead and have the runner go back to third, possibly.
Yeah, I think you got it right. So we'll see if the runner returns to third base.
Yeah, Gaggle's going to be safe at first. Give him an infield single.
And an RBI.
And, yes, and I think you're going to have, Truitt go back to third, right? Is that Truitt?
Yes. And they're going to pinch run. No, Truitt will come back to third.
Yeah.
So that is it exactly. The score is now 3-0. Take a run off the board. There'll be runners on the corners.
Nothing on the play except time was called before the runner got more than 5 feet off the bag at third, so we have to put him back at third.
Okay. All right.
And we've got a pinch runner at first for Gagne. And Dolphin comes to the plate, Cade Dolphin, who will be the pitcher for Iowa today. Got all that? Dolphin takes a look at a strike. And an uncontested steal of second base. So 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs for Iowa. Gaiman rocks and deals. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Good job by Tragan Parker, the catcher for Missouri, keeping that ball in front. Again, not a whole lot of room behind home plate, but again, you can't take a lead at third, so it's still difficult to score from third base, especially if you don't get a great jump.
Swing and a miss. Oh, just got a piece. Foul ball. Truitt with 2 RBIs. He's at third. Pitches inside. Gaggle singled in a run. And that's where we stand now. Missouri has committed an error in this inning. He did go around. 3 strikeouts in the inning, but Iowa scores 3 runs. Missouri comes to the plate when we return to Indianapolis. Grab and shade wherever you can. Bottom of the first, Iowa puts 3 runs up in the top of the inning, and now Missouri will come to the plate once we reach the bottom of the frame. Cade Dolphin starts things out on the mound for Iowa. We've seen him pitch. Rusty's got some good stuff.
Yeah, he came in relief and pitched marvelously on Sunday in game 1 for Iowa. You see those numbers, 5 punch-outs in 2 innings of work, and he got out of 2 huge jams in both innings that he pitched in.
Iowa beat Kansas. Lost to Minnesota last night. McAllister, Smith, Weathers, Gaiman, Parker, Garrard, Culver, Goddard, and Woodmansee. That's your batting order for Missouri. And they would like to get the bats going. In their loss to Nebraska, they managed to only collect 3 hits, and they were struck out 11 times in that game.
Well, the power guys for Missouri, the first 3 guys in the lineup, McAllister, Smith, and Weathers.
McAllister will lead things off. First pitch down low, a ball. McAllister, left-hand batter. Rolls it to the right side. Should be easy. Throw gets away. Hall threw that one away. And Shannon was hit on the head. So that's going to be a throwing error. And the leadoff runner is aboard. Here's the defense. Berkheimer, Graves, Cardenas left to right. Gaggle, Truitt, Hall, and Shannon third to first. Dolphin and Feldman the battery at the moment for Iowa. Looks like RJ is going to be all right.
A little collision on that overthrow right there. RJ's a tough guy. But just to prove my point, the first 3 guys in the lineup for Missouri, they played 11 games in the district and state tournament. They hit 19 home runs as a team. The first 3 guys in the lineup today hit 18 of those 19 home runs.
So here's Blake Smith. His coaches say he's the fastest player in the tournament. And immediately drops a bunt down and beats it. He is fast. Wow.
Yeah, that guy can motor, no question. And that was a really nice play from a defensive standpoint. Watch Cade Dolphin right here. Hops off the mound, makes a quick throw to first, and it wasn't even close.
No. So 2 men on and nobody out here for Missouri. Trying to get back into this game, trailing 3-0. Devin Weathers now at the plate. Hot shot to short. They'll go to third for the force. And that's all they'll get. Nice play by Truitt at short. Went to Gaggle at third, and they knocked off the lead runner. 2 men on, 1 out.
Typically, Dave, in higher level baseball, that's a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. But in this league, bases are only 60 feet apart, so it's a little tougher to turn two. Pretty heads-up play by Zach Truitt to get that lead runner on the force.
Cole Gaiman is next. Right up on top of the plate, right-handed batter. Gagney's in on the grass at third. 2-0. There's a called strike. We saw a moment ago how fast Blake Smith is. Right now he's sitting down at second base, so anything to the outfield you would imagine he'll be able to score on. Here's the 2-1. Fouls it away. It's 2-2.
That's where you have to think ahead. That's a good point, Dave, because if the ball's hit to the outfield, you have good speed, not only at second but also at first. Ball should probably come into second base to keep that runner out of scoring position, unless it's just a bullet.
Dolphin with the pitch. Grounded to third. They'll go back to the bag and get another force out there.
That's a great play by Grant Gaggle over there at third base. He's made 2 heads-up plays to get the last 2 putouts. Did you see my buddy Feldman out there, the catcher, telling him? That kid is a leader.
We have been talking about him for days. Really impressive behind the plate for Iowa. Tragan Parker, and that's going to load the bases. A chopper right in front of the mound. It went over Dolphin's head. He was able to get a little bit of it with his glove, but all Truitt could do was really just pick it up and put it in his pocket. That's an infield base hit, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad luck hop right there for Iowa. That's a ground ball that gets you out of the inning, but it hopped up just high enough to where Dolphin just couldn't handle it.
Foul ball.
Now this potentially becomes a huge at-bat for both teams right now.
Mekhi Garrard at the plate.
Thank you, Coach.
Jason Smith will run at second base, number 31. Garrard gets back in there. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. That's going to roll foul. And it's 0-2.
Another heads-up play by Gaggle down there at third base. Ball rolls foul. He immediately touches it. Doesn't give it a chance to roll back into fair territory. I've said this many times in the games we've done. You know, the baseball IQ out on these fields between all these teams is really impressive. And we've seen a lot of really good routine plays being made and a lot of spectacular plays.
Popped up. Hall squeezes it. And Missouri leaves them loaded, and they do not score. We played one complete. Let's go to the second. Iowa leads 3-0. That is Victory Field, where the Indianapolis Indians, the AAA affiliate of the Pirates, do business. They're playing Toledo tonight, in fact. Meanwhile, here at Stokely Field, got a good ball game going on. Little League World Series division at a glance. Division of Little League International. Modified double elimination. Ages 11 through 13 cannot turn 13 before May 1st, 2015. 6-inning games, 2/3 conventional field size, minimum mandatory play. Everybody gets to play. Iowa sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning. And now Cole Gaiman, who came in relief of Cale McAllister, starts the second inning, and Feldman, the catcher, will lead off. Inside ball one. This is an elimination game. Winner moves on, loser goes home.
You know, this is a month-long tournament that starts for each of these states representing each regional. Start with their district tournament, state, regional, trying to get to the Little League World Series in Williamsport. 14,000 games to qualify the 16 teams for the Little League World Series.
That bunt attempt was almost like self-defense.
Yeah.
Looking down there, I think Feldman's got his lucky socks on. He wears the same ones every game. Here's the 1-1. Catches the inside corner, 1-2. After Feldman will go back to the top of the order. Here's the 1-2. Breaking pitch stays high. 2-2.
Feldman, probably the smallest guy for the Iowa club, but he's the biggest leader behind the plate.
Stays alive. Iowa put 3 on the board in the top of the first. Zach Truitt drove in a pair with a double into the left field corner. Here's Gaiman's 2-2 pitch. Hit him. So the leadoff man is aboard for Iowa here in the top of the second.
Yeah, a little too far in. They want it inside at 2-2. Not that far inside, but how about my man Feldman, Ashton Feldman?
He's walking it off down the right field line.
This guy's tough behind the plate. He made a couple of, I tell you, one of the hardest plays for a catcher, Dave, is to catch that foul pop-up behind home plate. He's done it twice in this regional.
Dom Reedburn will run for him. Reedburn was in the original starting lineup for Iowa and then was taken down. Berkheimer, who led off the game with a base hit, now will bat for the second time. That one goes all the way to the screen. And Reedburn will advance down to second base on a wild pitch. Sun was out to start this game. Now we got some cloud cover going. Berkheimer did go, so that's a strike. It's 1-1. Goddard even with the bag at third. There's another called strike. It's 1-2. Berkheimer says his goal is to play second base for the St. Louis Cardinals. Pitches outside. Big Iowa State fan. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. And he will make it to first base. So that's a strikeout and a wild pitch. Runner reaches first, and Reedburn advances down to third. Can have a little meaning in the mound here. Critical point of the game for both these teams. Iowa's already got a 3-0 lead on Missouri. They got runners on the corners here in the top of the second with nobody out. Eric Parker talking to his team.
Yeah, he's the head coach for Missouri. He's the manager of a...
He's an IT manager in Joplin.
For Tamco Building Products. They provided a lot of the lumber when they rebuilt Joplin. Webb City, kind of a suburb of Joplin.
A devastating tornado back in 2011.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long ago.
So Alex Hall steps in. He wants to be a lawyer when he grows up. Let's see if he can negotiate an RBI here. There's a called strike. Singleton scored his first time up. Here's the 0-1. Gaiman from the full wind. Slow roller to the left side. Take it to first for the out and hold the runner at third. Berkheimer advances down to second.
That's Devin Weathers over there at third base. He started the game at shortstop. Excuse me, started the game at first base. Played an inning at part of that last inning at shortstop, now at third. Excellent play, keeping the runner at third and getting the out at first.
Graves is at the plate. First pitch is a ball. Gaiman would love to get a strikeout in this situation. Ball two. Truitt, who had the 2-run double in the top of the first inning, is on deck. Graves goes down and tries to golf it out of there. It's a foul ball. 2-1.
Well, this Iowa team, Dave, they've had their share of elimination games here in postseason play. In fact, in the tournament, they lost. Excuse me, in the state tournament, Iowa lost its first game. Had a little team meeting, and then they reeled off 7 wins in a row to get here to Indianapolis. They were down 4-0 in the championship game in the first inning before winning 15-5. So they put up 15 runs in the championship game of the state. They scored 11 in game 1 here in Indianapolis and put up 7 yesterday. Already 3 today.
Graves earns the walk, and the bases are loaded. First walk issued by Missouri. So Zach Truitt now will hit. And for the second consecutive inning, he comes up with the bases loaded.
Well, he's got some power, too. So he hit a double in the first inning. But Zach Truitt hit 3 3-run home runs in that state tournament run for this team from Iowa.
Check to swing, ball 1. Iowa already in front 3-0, looking for more here. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Truitt with an open stance, bats from the right side. Swing and a miss, it's 1-1. Here's Gaiman's 1-1. Nice looking pitch. Curveball took something off that. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he did take something off, and That was a great pitch there by Gaiman. You can throw that breaking ball a couple of different speeds. It's all about throwing the timing off.
Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Missouri. 2 away. Bases still loaded.
I tell you, Iowa did put a 3 spot on the board, but you got to credit Missouri pitching to this point because that lead could have been a lot higher, but they've made some key pitches when they've had to.
Skylar Cardenas struck out his first time up. Now Iowa's looking for a key 2-out hit. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Nice job of getting ahead. You see how Iowa having trouble getting the ball to the outfield against Cole Gaiman.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Caught the inside corner, called strike 3. Gaiman gets 2 big back-to-back strikeouts. Iowa leaves them loaded. They do not score in the second, but they continue to lead Missouri 3-0. Iowa leads Missouri 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Rusty, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule of games today. We got some results as well. Earlier today, Ohio scored late and edged Illinois 7-6. Missouri and Iowa, that's the game you're watching right now. Scheduled to start at 4 o'clock Eastern, Midwest, Kansas and Nebraska. Then our late game will be right back here at Stokely Field. Rusty and I will be for Michigan and Indiana. Should be a good game. All games available on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. And those games are all archived about a half an hour after their completion. So if you're joining us late, you can go back and check the beginning of this game once it gets archived later today.
Good way for these coaches to scout too. They don't have to come necessarily to the ballpark. They can stay in their hotel rooms and dial up the replay on ESPN3 and get all the information they need to know for everybody.
Camden Culver will lead things off for Missouri. Takes a look at a ball. Cade Dolphin started this game for Iowa. He's still out there. Only needed 13 pitches to get out of the first inning. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Goddard and Woodmansee scheduled to come to the plate in this inning. Sent out to center field. And that one is going to go all the way to the wall. Graves hits the cutoff man, but not before Culver pulls into second base with a leadoff stand-up double here in the bottom of the second.
Good start for the inning for Missouri. In fact, they had the first 3 on last inning.
What do you think, Rusty? I think Graves may have lost sight of this ball just briefly. I don't know if he was going to catch it anyway.
Well, that ball was hit pretty stoutly right there by Culver. And I was going to make the point right before that. Dolphin has got, he's a big guy on the mound, and he has kind of a quick arm motion. And it almost like it comes out of his hand. He doesn't throw tremendously hard, and I think guys have a lot of trouble squaring him up at times.
Goddard at the plate.
But that ball was up in the zone.
Jason Smith, the pinch runner, at second base.
And Culver just ripped it.
It's 1-1.
One of the hardest balls to judge at this age, Dave, is when it's hit hard and over your head. Not too many balls are hit over your head in the field of play.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Yeah, Culver got that one up into the wind, which is blowing straight out right now. Here's Dolphins 1-2. Took a little bit off that, and Goddard was lucky to get a piece.
Hold on to that, Ashton. Hold on to it. Switch it out. Switch it out here.
Hits are even at 3 apiece. Iowa leads on the scoreboard 3-0. 20 pitches now for Dolphin. Here's the 1-2 to Goddard. Swing and a miss, struck him out. First strikeout for Dolphin. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. Little League has been strengthening communities, building friendships through teamwork, and providing fun competition for over 7 decades. Little League is the world's largest organized youth sports program with over 2 million kids and 1 million volunteers. To learn more about Little League, visit www.llbws.org or follow the hashtag LLWS on social media. Got a pitching change here. Dolphin is out, and it looks like, I know that hair anywhere. That's Jefferson. We saw him pitch last night.
Yeah, and one thing about this Iowa club, they have 8 guys on this team that can throw. And Rusty Shannon, the head coach of Iowa, not afraid to use all 8 if necessary. And again, you can use as many pitchers in consecutive days if they throw 20 or fewer pitches. And that's exactly what he's doing with Cade Dolphin. Now, if Iowa wins and advances, he would be able to pitch tomorrow.
So Jefferson was not in the original lineup, but is in the game now. We noted last night that one of his superstitions is when he has a game, he doesn't comb his hair. Throws pretty hard. Has a nice curveball. Good athlete. Comes into the game with 1 out, bottom of the second. Runner down at second base. Camden Culver with a 2-base hit to start the frame. Matt Woodmansee steps in, left-handed bat. And Jefferson, the right-hander, delivers. Ball 1. Dolphin goes 1 1/3. He is responsible for Culver down at second base. Fouled away, left side. It's 1-1. After Woodmansee will go back to the top of the order for Missouri. Slow roller to short, took a bad hop over Truitt's shoulder. Smith thought about coming home, but he'll go to third base. That's got to go as an infield base hit. Oh, I guess not. The official score is going to rule that in error. That's a tough error. Rusty, see if this wasn't a bad hop.
It was a bad hop. Watch this. This is tailor-made right here. He's going to first base and just hopped right over his shoulder right there. That's Eric Parker, the head coach. He had thoughts of trying to score a run right there, but with just one out in the inning and the top of the order coming up, he holds the runner and going to take his chances with McAllister and Smith.
McAllister at the plate. He reached via an error. And now the throw goes into center field on the stolen base attempt. A run will score, and Woodmansee will go all the way to third.
Well, they enact the running game, that team speed that you talked about, Dave. Ends up being a throwing error by Ashton Feldman, the catcher. It looks like they had a play on to where that ball was supposed to go to Truitt to act as a semi-cutoff man to try to draw the runner at third. Looks like Truitt didn't get the sign, and he went all the way over to the base to cover as the ball went into center field.
All right, so Missouri's got their first run, and another one sitting down at third base with only one out. Next pitch to McAllister is high. It's 2-1. Back-to-back left-handed batters here. Woodmansee and now McAllister. He rolls it to the right side. Hall makes the play. Run scores, 2 down. It's 3-2.
Now, good at bat by Cale McAllister. Good productive out right there. Drives in a big run for Missouri as they cut into that Iowa lead. It's a really nice job of hitting, and really a heads-up play by second baseman Alex Hall for Iowa, not trying to take a chance to try to throw the guy out at the plate, get the sure out, and then now you're one pitch away from getting out of the inning with the lead.
Blake Smith. Remember how quickly he got down the line on that bunt base hit his first time up? He's at the plate now, takes ball 1. Waving that green bat above his head. 2 balls, no strikes. Two out, nobody on, 2 runs in for Missouri. There's a called strike. It's 2-1. Jefferson's next pitch is inside. It's 3-1. Three-two. Smith to a payoff from Jefferson now. Here's the payoff. Ball rolls foul, and we'll do it again. Gaggle down there at third base and on the grass. Respecting the speed of Smith.
Speed puts pressure on the defense.
Jefferson delivers, and Smith fouls away another one.
Speed, as a defender, Dave, will make you do things that you don't want to do.
Ball 4, lost him. First walk issued by Iowa pitchers today. Devin Weathers steps in, grounded into a force play his first time up.
That ball was hard hit to the shortstop. They got a force at third base.
All the way to the backstop, and Smith lasers his way down to second base on that wild pitch. So Smith is in scoring position. Weathers looking to get a 2-out base hit here in the second. Pops it up. Graves coming in from center. Can't make the play. Smith will score to tie the game. And Weathers slides into second base safely. They're going to rule that a hit.
Got to rule it a double, too. I think he may have lost it. But I'll tell you, you have to credit Devin Weathers. A routine fly ball to center field, but he was hustling right out of the gate. If he's loafing, he's standing on first. But he was going at it 100%, and he ends up on second base in scoring position, and now he presents the go-ahead run right here. Effort is, you can't put a value on that. It's a credit to these kids that are out here playing, and also it's a credit to all the head coaches and assistant coaches for instilling that in them.
Cole Gaiman at the plate. Count is 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Weathers down at second base represents the go-ahead run. 3 already in this inning for Missouri. Here's Jefferson's next pitch. Just off the inside corner. 2-2.
Dave, we've seen tremendous plays. We've seen a perfect game. We've seen home runs. But I tell you, the effort by all these kids, I haven't seen anybody not hustle. It's just been very impressive.
Bare hands it out in front of the plate and makes a fine play to end the inning. But in the frame, Missouri scores 3, and they tie the game. We're heading on to the third inning. Iowa and Missouri all tied at 3. Look at those clouds. Partly cloudy is the forecast. We're all tied at 3 between Iowa and Missouri in this elimination game in the Midwest Regional from Indianapolis. Iowa, Des Moines, represented in this game. The population over 200,000. It's the capital city. Forbes called it the best place for business 2 years ago. Home of the Iowa Cubs, AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. Yesterday we were talking about professional athletes that played Little League, and we were talking about Todd Frazier of the Reds. I was watching Todd play last night. 2-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year runner-up, reigning Home Run Derby champ, played for Toms River in 1998. They won it in the championship game in Williamsport. He was the winning pitcher, went 4 for 4, led off the game with a home run. And when he made his Major League debut on May 23rd, 2011, that was just shy of 13 years after winning it all at the Little League World Series. Other current Major Leaguers, Lance Lynn, Jason Marquis. How about a couple of NFL players who played Little League Baseball? A couple of quarterbacks, Matt Castle, Chad Pennington also played.
Okay, 14,
Little League Baseball made it to the Little League World Series. They all did.
14 is now at third. I'm assuming it just happened this inning.
George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Okay, we are in the top of
Gary
3.
Sheffield.
Phil Mickelson.
8 is the catcher.
All right, let's
Is that
keep
it?
going.
Is that it, Coach?
I don't have the list. All right, we're set for action here in the top of the third inning, all tied at 3.
I like the one I came up with yesterday. Chris Drury. He won the Little League World Series in '89 for Connecticut. Then he won the Stanley Cup when he played hockey for the Colorado Avalanche.
R.J. Shannon will lead things off for Iowa here in the third. Game tied at 3. Cole Gaiman still out on the mound for Missouri. And here we go. First pitch is a ball. Iowa scored 3 runs in the top of the first. Missouri matched things with a 3 spot in the bottom of the second. Shannon struck out looking his first time up.
I got one more.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You think he
Wow.
what kind of strike zone did he have? I bet he wasn't the leadoff guy.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're right about that. Shannon swings and misses. 1-1. Shannon close stance right up on top of the plate. Called strike. It's 1-2. Well, you see a real variety of batting stances. We told you that Shannon's favorite player is Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo at the plate for the Cubs, kind of quiet with that bat. Not a lot of motion as he gets ready for the pitch. Same thing with Shannon, only from the right side. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Gonna have to complete it. 2-3. Third strikeout for Gaiman. 6th combined with Cale McAllister, who started this game. 1 away, top of the third. Randy Shannon looking to pick out a pinch hitter here.
Thank you very much.
In Little League Baseball, everybody has to play. All the players on your roster have to make an appearance. It looked like it was going to be Reedburn. Came out of the dugout, then went back inside. Gaggle will bat in his original spot. Gaggle reached on an infield hit first time up. First pitch swinging. Sends one off the fence in front of the dugout for Iowa. 0-1. Gaiman does not work from the stretch. You know, of course he wouldn't with nobody on base right now, but even when there are men on base, he goes from the full windup. 1-1 with 1 out here, top of the third. Swing and a miss. Just got a piece of that, ruled as a foul ball. Two and two. Weathers at third base for Missouri is back. Not expecting a bunt from Gaggle. There you see him. Here's the 2-2. And that curveball catches the inside corner for a called strike 3. 4th punch out for Gaiman. And he struck out back-to-back batters here to start the top of the third.
This kid's really silenced the Iowa bats. Little front door curveball right there.
Good
on
pitch.
Grant Gaggle. Excellent pitch.
Jefferson started this game on the bench. Pitching now. This is his first time at the plate. And there's a called strike. Stays inside, 1-1. Jefferson swings and misses. Couldn't catch up with that curveball that was running away from that right-handed hitter. 1-2. Fouled one off his foot. Gaiman ahead of the count, 1-2, 2 outs. Missouri 1 strike away from retiring Iowa in order for the first time in the game. Here's the pitch. Pops it foul, straight back. Getting some activity in the Iowa bullpen. Caden Bortman is warming up. Swing and a miss. Gaiman strikes out the side. That's his 5th K. And Iowa goes in order. Missouri looks to break the tie when we come back. They'll all even at 3, bottom of the 3rd. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. Game tied at 3. Hey, quick correction on the number of strikeouts by Cole Gaiman. He's got 5 Ks in a row, 7 total since coming into the game in relief of Cale McAllister, who started this game. Missouri set to come to the plate to face Jefferson. Jefferson came in relief of Cade Dolphin. Elimination game here. Winner moves on. The loser is finished. Tragan Partner will lead things off. There's a called strike. Singled his first time up. We're at Stokely Field in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Dave Weekley alongside Rusty Ensor. Iowa is the team in white. Missouri is wearing red today. This elimination game out of the Midwest Regional is all tied up at 3 as we reach the bottom of the third. Next pitch to Parker. Slow roller to first base. Shannon handles it, steps on the bag, quickly one down.
It's not an easy play right there, Dave. I tell you, as a first baseman, you just got to hope that that ball, if you're going to field it behind the base, you got to hope that it doesn't hit the base. That situation, you want to try to run up there and grab it, number one, before it goes foul, and number two, before it can have a chance to hit the base.
Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter here, Eric Parker.
Did you say 31? Yeah, 31. Hitting for 42.
31 for 42. Thank you.
31, Jason Smith will be next. Here are the details on mandatory play. Mandatory play is contingent on the number of players a team has at the beginning of the game. If you have 13 or 14, each player must bat once. If your team has a dozen or fewer, each player must play 6 consecutive defensive outs and bat once.
Both of these teams have 13 players on their scorecards today.
We've seen Smith as a pinch runner. Smith thought that ball hit him. The home plate umpire ruled it was a foul ball. And now I think he wants a little help on the call.
This is when, if you know, all these batters now, Dave, they wear so much armor and protection. You know, back in the old days when you got hit on the arm or the wrist, then you could show a lot of times the seams of the baseball or some sort of redness. I think it got him on the forearm there a little bit.
That's going to be ruled a foul ball. James Jefferson with the 0-1. Inside, ball 1. 1-1. One down here, bottom of the third. Game tied at 3. Jefferson's next pitch. Oh, he sends that one deep, and that's going to be gone. Touch them all. A no-doubter line drive home run over the wall and left.
Well, he really didn't want to take first base on that hit by pitch. He wanted to get a chance to swing away. How about Jason Smith off the deck?
Pinch hit homer.
And out of the yard.
And Missouri leads for the first time today.
Since this Missouri team started tournament play, that's its 20th home run as a team.
Good sportsmanship there.
Great sportsmanship. That's the camaraderie that you see in this tournament, which is really refreshing. That's awesome.
Camden Culver now steps in, and he's got the potential to go back-to-back. Open stance from the right side. He doubled his first time up. There's a called strike. Swing and miss 0-2. Yeah, you brought up the fact that was their 20th home run. First one since they reached the regional. What was it, 19 home runs in 11 combined games in the district in the state tournament?
That's correct.
Ball's outside, ball 1, 1-2.
They only had 3 hits in their one and only game previous to this one against Nebraska.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
You know, a lot of times, you know, once you get to a place like this in a regional, you know, this is big time tournament baseball, and sometimes, you know, the nerves are a little bit part of it. It takes a game or two to kind of relax a little bit.
27 for 8.
Got to exhale.
Graham.
Brett Graham is a pinch hitter. First pitch from Jefferson is high, ball one. Graham wants to be a rapper. We'll see if he's a hitter. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Pretty good ball game. Two balls and a strike. Iowa scored 3 runs in the top of the first. Missouri has now scored 4 unanswered runs, and they've got the lead for the first time today. It's 3-1 to the pinch hitter Graham. 35 pitches now for Jefferson in relief. 36. Here's the 3-1. Comebacker. Back through the box for a base hit.
I tell you, the bench players for Missouri really igniting this team. 2 pinch hitters this inning. Jaston Smith with a home run. Brent Graham with a single right up the middle. Solid knock right up the middle.
Woodmansee steps in, left-handed batter. Reached on an error first time up in the second inning. First pitch is a ball. Parker grounded out to start the inning. Smith came up as a pinch hitter and promptly deposited one over the fence and left for a solo home run to put Missouri in front 4-3. That one goes all the way back to the screen. And Graham advances down to second base on the wild pitch. It's 2-0. Culver struck out. Graham singled back up the middle, and now he's down at second base in scoring position with 2 outs. For the number 9 hitter in the lineup, Woodmansee. There's a strike. It's 2-1. McAllister, another left-handed batter, is on deck. Woodmansee rolls this one over to the right side, and that's the inning. But not before Missouri takes their first lead. The pinch hitter Smith sends it out over the wall. It's the difference in the game right now. 4-3 Missouri. Cole Gaiman has been striking out Iowa hitters in order and with regularity. He comes into this top of the fourth with 5 straight Ks. He's struck out 7 batters in this game. I tell you what, that backdoor curveball, he's got that thing working.
Well, he's been a huge lift. Now, this is an Iowa club that scored 3 in the first inning. And things didn't look good for Missouri early, but they've battled back. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Cole Gaiman. He's just kind of stifled this Iowa team that has scored, coming into this game, they had scored 18 runs in 2 previous games.
Dom Reedburn will lead things off as a pinch hitter here in the 4th. Count is 1-1. Iowa has seen its 3-0 lead evaporate, and now they trail 4-3 to Missouri. 2 Hopper to short. 1 away. Nice play over there by Parker.
Yeah, that's really nice by Tragan Parker. Look at that. Just a little bit to his right. Sets his feet, steps and throws. It's a pretty good form right there by that youngster.
Back to the top for Berkheimer. And number 99 takes a look at a called strike. Berkheimer's been aboard twice. Singled to lead off the game. Came around to score. And struck out his last time up, but managed to get down to first base when the pitch was wild. He's in an 0-2 hole. Gaiman working quickly. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Gaiman. Tipped and a strikeout, another one. That's 8 for the game.
This kid's tough from the right side. And again, and you talked about it, Dave, Iowa's having a hard time negotiating that breaking ball from Cole Gaiman, and that was another one.
Gaiman now at 58 pitches. He's struck out 6 of the last 7 men he's faced, and he starts Hall off with a called strike. And there's another called strike. That was the fastball that caught the outside portion of the plate. .39 strikes out of the 60 total pitches for Gaiman in relief. Hall really didn't like that call much. Here's the 0-2.
I tell you, that's really, at this age, that's a very good strike-to-ball ratio right there. This kid's been unbelievable.
Rolls it down to short. Parker up with it. Throw gets away. That's going to be an infield base hit.
Ball wasn't hit all that hard. That was a tough play. Had to go a little bit in the hole. Talking about Tragan Parker right there. Good speed by Alex Hall.
And that's the first hit surrendered by Gaiman. 4 total hits in this game for Iowa.
Alex Hall, really good player. He's played some outstanding defense at second base. Has a grand slam in this tournament. Good all-around player.
There's a strike.
Now you got to be careful to a guy like Jordan Graves. He had a home run yesterday.
Yeah, 2-run shot in the loss to Minnesota. Swing and a miss. Graves really fooled by that curveball that runs away from the right-handers.
Yeah, you have to be disciplined to keep that front side in. That front shoulder came out. If he can get that curveball, he tried to front door him, I think, again right there. Might be a little too good for a location at 0-2. I would tend to work Graves low and away because of this kid's power.
Hall leads off first base. with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Missouri with a 4-3 lead. And Graves fouls that one off. And that got a piece of the catcher.
Yeah, Eli Goddard going to try to walk this one off. I think it went off maybe his foot or maybe his thigh.
So you can see as Goddard walks it off, Randy Shannon right in the face of Jordan Graves. A little coaching moment there. Now Eric Parker is going to come out and have a word with his catcher. We've seen Goddard play a little third base in this game as well. He's going to hang in there. So after that foul ball, Graves going to get back in there. He's behind in the count, 0-2. 2 outs, 1 on. Top 4, Iowa trailing 4-3. Gaiman rocks and deals. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 9 strikeouts. And here's who's due for Missouri when we come back. Missouri with a 4-3 lead. Nice look at the field here. Stokely Field in Indianapolis. Bottom of the 4th in this elimination game. Missouri leads Iowa 4-3. James Jefferson remains on the mound for Iowa. This is the elimination bracket. You see our game. Game number 5. The winner moves on. The loser is finished. Game 6, another elimination game. Kansas and Nebraska coming, scheduled to start over at Ferguson Field in about 25 minutes. You can check it out on ESPN3. So McAllister will lead things off. He started the game on the mound and is now playing first base for Missouri. Gagne up at third on the grass. First pitch is inside for a ball. Cade Dolphin started this game for Iowa, worked an inning and a third. It's been Jefferson since then. Ball 2. 4-6-1 for Missouri. 3-4-3 for Iowa. Reaches out. Wraps it foul to the left side. It's 2-1.
You know, Dave, to say that this Missouri team gutted it out to get here to this regional is probably an understatement. They played the state championship game.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Gone. Long gone. McAllister tees one up that gets out of the ballpark in a big hurry, just to the left of the scoreboard in right center. And Missouri has now scored 5 unanswered runs, and they have a 2-run lead on Iowa.
Well, I talked earlier, Dave, how the power from this club really is 1, 2, 3 in the order. And Cale McAllister right there shows that. The leadoff guy, one of the top power sticks. Look at that extension from the left side. Gets the bat head out and through. And that ball is way out of here.
A no-doubter. And it's 5-3.
Well, what I was saying, they played the championship game, the Missouri team did, in 105-degree heat. The heat index was 115 on the field. The umps gave both teams extra breaks between innings so the players could get plenty of fluids. They even had one umpire pass out from heat exhaustion. He had to be taken to the hospital, and the game was delayed over an hour.
Smith, we've already seen a couple of examples of his speed. It would behoove Iowa to keep him off the bases. Count levels at 1-1. And Smith sends one out deep to center field. And the ballpark's not going to hold this. Missouri going back-to-back. Solo home run for Blake Smith.
Well, more Missouri power right there. Again, that's Missouri's 23rd home run as a team since they began this trek to Williamsport, going all the way back to the district tournament. This one dead center field. Ball also well hit. We've seen the speed from Smith in his first at bat today, and now the power from Blake Smith.
Graves tried to climb the fence, but he had no shot. The wind blowing straight out right now. That ball landed at least, what do you think, 75 feet beyond the fence?
They got some people out there sitting under the umbrellas in dead center field. It bounced right in front of those guys.
Incoming.
Yeah, incoming. Yeah, Blake Smith now, he's been on base 3 times, scored a couple of runs. Out of the 2-hole, that's pretty impressive.
Well, Jefferson has thrown 48 pitches, and Randy Shannon's going to leave him in there. Devin Weathers, Rusty. Rusty Shannon. Weathers is 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI double his last time up in the second inning. Grounded into a force play in the first. Takes a look at a called strike. It's 1-1. All right, see what Jefferson's got after giving up back-to-back solo home runs. Swing and a miss.
Well, if you're James Jefferson at this point, you just gotta race it. You gotta forget about it, including that solid hit right there. And you gotta try to get 3 outs and get your team back into the dugout. This is an Iowa team that can come back. And they've come back on more than one occasion. They rallied late to make the game respectable in yesterday's game.
The new $1.8 million Grow the Game grant program was created to provide local Little Leagues the resources they need for general improvement, to help recover from a natural disaster, and to expand or establish Little League Softball, Little League Challenger Division, and Little League Urban Initiative programs. For more information, visit littleleague.org/Grow the Game. So, R.J. Shannon is going to come in relief here. Saw him pitch last night. RJ does a little bit of everything for this team.
No one yet. 7.
So he comes into the game after Jefferson surrenders 6 hits, 5 runs. They're all earned. Here in the fourth, McAllister led it off with a booming home run to left. Then Smith cracked one. No, I'm sorry. McAllister's home run went to right, just to the left of the scoreboard. Smith followed with a solo shot to straightaway center field. Weathers with a line drive base hit to left. And now Jefferson is out, and Shannon is in to pitch for Iowa.
RJ making his 3rd appearance in as many games here in this Midwest Regional.
7 to the first base.
Again,
7 to
Iowa
first
head
base.
coach Rusty Shannon told us he's got 8 players that can take the bump. And he's done a nice job using as many arms as he can in limiting a lot of those pitchers to 20 or fewer. That way they've been able to pitch on consecutive days, such as RJ right here.
Got a couple of defensive changes here. Graves goes from center field to first, with Shannon moving from first to the mound. And Jefferson goes to center field. And we're set for action. Gaiman at the plate. Gaiman's been a key figure in this game for Missouri. Came on in relief after Iowa scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning and looked to be on their way. He shut them right down on the mound. Here's a shot that's by Graves at first base for a base hit.
I'm really impressed with Cole Gaiman. Watch this approach. A slight little weight shift to get the weight on his back foot before getting through the hitting zone. Guy's got a really nice swing from the right side. Good job using the opposite side of the diamond. Hitting that, taking that ball on the outer portion of the plate to right field. That's it's pretty textbook right there.
Tregan Parker drops down a bunt. That's going to be a base hit. Perfectly placed bunt base hit. Shannon couldn't do anything but put it in his pocket.
And again, look at that. That's the 5th hit in a row by Missouri. Missouri has done a nice job utilizing the bunting game, the short game, especially with so much team speed. This club has team speed and team power, and they've been able to use it extremely well. Eric Parker really high on his kids from Missouri.
So Smith, who homered his last time up, is at the plate now with the bases loaded and nobody out, and Missouri leading 6-3. Infield in all the way around for Iowa. 2-0. As a pinch hitter, Smith came up with 1 out in the 3rd and cranked a no-doubter solo home run over the left field fence. Got a chance to do more damage here. Laces a foul to the right side. It's 2-1. Five straight hits in the inning for Missouri. They've increased their lead to 3 runs. Swing and a miss. Obviously, with nobody out and the bases loaded, Shannon would love to get a strikeout here.
A little breaking ball there at 2-1 with the bases loaded. That's confidence in your command right there.
Here's the 2-2. And now it's full. RJ wants another ball. Here comes the payoff. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. McAllister and Smith back-to-back solo homers to start the frame. Weathers, Gabin, and Parker followed with 3 consecutive singles. The bases are loaded. It's 6-3 Missouri. And Smith, who homered his last time up at the plate, awaiting a 3-2 pitch. And here it comes. Drives this one to center. Will the ballpark hold it? No! Grand slam home run.
Hey, Dave, how'd you like to have a guy like Jaston Smith, a bench player coming off the bench to pinch hit last inning, stays in the game, and he responds with a solo home run and a grand slam in back-to-back ABs. Look at that weight shift to the back. The hitting zone, gets the ball up in the hitting zone, gets the barrel through. Dead center field. Way over the fans there in center field. That ball was cranked.
Well, Missouri brought their hitting close to the ballpark today. This is a group that managed just 3 total hits in their loss to Nebraska. They've got a dozen hits today, 4 home runs, 2 by Smith, including a grand slam. And after trailing 3-0, they've scored 10 unanswered runs. Got a pinch hitter at the plate, Noah Mitchell. Hit by pitch is the call. So Mitchell's aboard. Still nobody out.
You know, when we talked with Eric Parker, the head coach of Missouri before the game, Dave, you could just see it in his eye. He was really disappointed the way his team responded in game 1. He felt like they may have played tight. They only got 3 hits as a club. He got 12 today already. Still playing here in the bottom of the 4th.
Jackson Cartwright will pinch hit.
And he has a ton of confidence in his team, and he just didn't feel like his team really responded like he wanted to see him. And after falling behind today, he was probably thinking, oh no, but you got to give these kids a lot of credit, a lot of fight with those 10 unanswered runs you just mentioned.
Cartwright swings at a pitch out of the zone. It's 0-2. Strikes him out on 3 pitches, 1 away. First strikeout for Shannon. Woodmansee is announced, and here he is, left-handed batter. He'll be the 9th man to hit in the frame. 6 runs already in the inning for Missouri. Fouled straight back. Gaggle is up on the grass at third. Here's Shannon's pitch. And that's going to fall in for a base hit. The way Jefferson reacted, it didn't look like he really saw the ball that well coming off the bat.
Well, it sounded like a line drive off the bat, and with these aluminum bats, Dave, that can fool an outfielder, especially on a line drive. And a lot of times when you get it off the end of the bat, it sounds a little different. And I think you're right, it just fooled Jefferson. And I think if he would have gotten a better jump on the ball, he could have possibly made a play on it. But again, kept the ball in front. That's what you want to do. You don't want to allow more base runners in scoring position.
Here's McAllister to bat for the second time in the inning. He led off this frame with a rocket of a home run to right. It would be the first of 6 runs that Missouri has scored to this point in the inning. One thing also to consider here is a home run by McAllister in this at-bat would make it a 10-run lead for Missouri and would force Iowa to score at least 1 run in the top of the 5th. McAllister sprays a fly ball down the left side, and it's 1-2. Smith, who's also homered in this inning, is on deck. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. 6 runs in. It's 10-3 Missouri. And now the count is full. Here's the payoff to McAllister. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Foul tipped that. And Feldman hung on. 2 down now.
Good job by RJ right there, fighting back. Climbing up in the zone. I've seen a lot of teams use that as an out pitch when you get 2 strikes, just kind of climb the ladder. It's a good spot, hard to lay off if you're a hitter. Plus, with 2 strikes, you've got to expand a little bit. That makes you a little over anxious, and I like that. I like that pitch location and selection.
Called strike to Smith. Smith's been aboard 3 times. Homered last time up. And that's going to fall in there for a base hit. And they're going to wave the runner home. A little hesitation, but comes around to score, and it's 11-3. Mitchell comes on in.
Pretty good job of hitting by Blake Smith. That's 3 hits on the day. He's been on base all 4 times.
Devron Weathers is next. 2 for 3. He's doubled and singled his last time up. Ball 1. 7 runs in the frame now. 14 total hits for Missouri. They lead 11-3. That's their largest lead. 2 runners on, still 2 out. Weathers a little late. It's 1-1. Dolphin, Jefferson, and now Shannon pitching for Iowa in this game. Weathers, ground ball to short. Gets the call at first base, and that will end the inning. But in the frame, a dozen men come to the plate. Smith with the grand slam in a 7-run inning. It's 11-3 Missouri. Well, early on, it looked like Iowa was going to have it their way. Truitt with an RBI base hit, but then the fireworks started. Smith with a home run. Then McAllister went deep. Smith took one out to straightaway center. And then Smith delivers a grand slam home run. He's got 2 of the 4. You add it all up, it's 11-3 now. Missouri has scored 11 unanswered runs. They have their largest lead of the game. So there's Truitt, 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double. Jason Smith, back-to-back home runs, 5 RBIs in the game. Missouri's banged out 14 hits to this point. Mekhi Garrard is now on to pitch. And he steps in after Gaiman really settled things down for Missouri on the mound. Truitt will lead things off here in the top of the 5th for Iowa. Takes a look at a called strike. Open stance, right-handed batter. It's a ball. Count levels at 1-1. This is a Midwest regional game, elimination game. One of these teams is going to be finished after this game, while the other will continue on in the tournament. Swing and a miss. And he strikes out Truitt to start the 5th.
Pretty nice job there by Mekhi Garrard right there. A little bender. And I'll tell you, Iowa, the power bats of Iowa, Dave, have really had a hard time with the breaking ball from these Missouri pitchers today. Garrard now the 3rd different pitcher on the mound for Missouri.
Cardenas will now hit. He struck out twice. And that's uncharacteristic of the performances we've seen from him in the first 2 games we've had with Iowa. Fouls that ball away. All right, so here's your defensive changes right now for Missouri. Garrard takes the mound. Parker moves from short to second. Gaiman goes back to short. And Mitchell stays in the game and plays right. Fouled away, it's 0-2. Mekhi Garrard into the wind. Here's the 0-2. Way outside. Ball 1, 1-2, 1 out. Iowa desperately trying to get something going after they've seen their 3-0 lead evaporate. Now they trail by 8 runs. Fouled straight back. The 3 Missouri pitchers have combined for a dozen strikeouts to this point. Gaiman struck out 9. Here's the 1-2. It's 2-2. Garrard caught the inside corner with that. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the frame. And now R.J. Shannon will try to get something going. He struck out twice today.
And Dave, another curveball. This one, a little front door action against Skylar Cardenas. Just working both sides of the plate. Mekhi doing a really good job in relief here.
So Barton will hit, take Shannon down, and Barton will hit in this spot. takes a look at a ball, 1-0. Rolls one to first. McAllister steps on the bag, and Iowa goes in order quietly in the top of the fifth. Going to the bottom of the fifth, Missouri leads 11-3. Hey, Rusty, good load. Paddle boat in the middle of the canal downtown.
Yeah, I walked down there last year after one of the games. Beautiful area downtown. Mm-hmm. It's really, really nice.
Right.
Taking a selfie right there.
There you go. Nicely done. Close to the NCAA headquarters. Time to talk about the 10-run rule here. If one team has a lead of 10 runs or more after the fourth inning or 3.5 innings, if the home team is ahead, the game ends. If the home team is behind by 10, it must complete its half inning on offense. That may come into play in this inning because it's the bottom of the fifth. Iowa has already batted. If Missouri scores 2 runs in this inning, the game will be over. Start with Gaiman. He'll lead things off. And he lines a base hit to left.
Man, Dave, I really like this kid's approach. We'll see that again. The way he loads right before the pitch is delivered. I mean, that's a sweet swing from the right side. You hear that comment a lot for left-handed hitters, but you don't hear it a lot for right-handed hitters. But it's a pretty swing. Kid's a good player.
Gaiman 2 for 4 today. He's had singles his last 2 times up. He was on the bases when Smith hit the grand slam in the middle of the 7-run uprising in the 4th. Parker fouls that one away, strike 1. Parker's 2 for 3. Got a pair of infield singles in this game. That solid base knock to left was hit number 15 in the game for Missouri. Popped up infield. Hall's calling for it. And he makes the catch.
I tell you, Alex Hall has had a great Midwest Regional. The kid's played solid defense. He's hit a grand slam home run. He did that in game 1 for Iowa back on Sunday. But look at that play.
That's a tough play.
That's not an easy play. That is a really nice play by Alex Hall. Good job.
All right, Jason Smith. Here's a chance for a 3-homer game. He's got a solo shot, a grand slam, and he's due. Got a pitching change here. Here's another look at that grand slam. A no-doubter. Incoming for those folks in center field.
5 RBIs off the bench for Eric Parker's club from Missouri. A solo and a grand slam. He hadn't had to run a sprint all game. He's been trotting.
Caden Barton will come into pitch. So Barton comes into the game with a runner on first and 1 out, trying to hold Missouri right here. Smith entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 3rd and promptly homered to left. And we just showed you the grand slam a moment ago, the replay from the last inning. That was a no-doubter to straightaway center field. Home run right here by Smith ends the game. It would trigger the 10-run rule. So Smith steps in against Barton. And here we go. Ball 1. Barton rocks and deals. Here's the 1-0. It's 2-0. Smith right up on top of the plate. Holds that bat still. 3-0. Missouri has cranked 4 home runs in this game. 3 of them came in the 4th. Strike. 3-1. Barton is the 4th Iowa pitcher today. Smith walks, so there are 2 on with 1 out. Just the 2nd walk issued today by Iowa pitchers. But Missouri has hit their way around the bases today. 15 base hits, including those 4 homers. Mitchell entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 4th, then moved to right field, so he will bat for the 2nd time. Barton took a little bit off of that and had Mitchell out in front. Strike 1. Outfield plays him around to left. And there's a called strike, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. Struck him out on 3 pitches. First strikeout for Barton.
99 for 8.
Good spot at breaking ball down and away. It's where you want to. It's where you want to try to bury it, Dave, when you're ahead in the count as a pitcher. And especially when you've got a catcher like Ashton Feldman. Does an excellent job blocking baseballs, and you can have the confidence to bury one.
Jackson Cartwright will bat for the 2nd time. Ball 1. Cartwright entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 4th and struck out. 2 men on, 2 men out. 11-3 Missouri, bottom 5. And Barton has come into the game and has thrown some strikes. Here's the 1-1 to Cartwright. Rolls it to 3rd. He'll step on the bag, and that's the inning. So Missouri goes relatively quietly in the bottom of the 5th after scoring 7 runs in the 4th. There's who's due up for Iowa in the 6th. Iowa needs 8 to tie. Work to do in this elimination game. Top of the 6th, do or die for Iowa. They trail Missouri 11-3. Why is it do or die? Well, let's take a look at the elimination bracket. The winner of this game moves on. The loser is finished for the tournament, the Midwest region here in Indianapolis. And right now, Missouri has an 11-3 lead on Iowa. The Kansas and Nebraska game has just started moments ago, about 100 yards away from us over at Ferguson Field. Garrard stays on the mound. Missouri needs 3 outs to advance. Looks like Van Riper will lead things off as a pinch hitter for Iowa. Stokely Field here in Indianapolis, along with Rusty Enzor. I'm Dave Weekley. Had a lot of fun so far, and the fun keeps happening in this tournament. Iowa in the white, Missouri in the field now, defensively in the red. Missouri trailed early 3-0. They've scored 11 unanswered runs. They're 3 outs from advancing. Missouri scored 7 of those 11 runs in the 4th inning, an inning in which they hit 3 home runs, including a grand slam. Garrard is the 3rd of 3 pitchers for Missouri today. Riper tries to drop down a bunt. Strike 1. Offered again, strike 2. Sign language, one of the hobbies for Skyler. Favorite player is Big Papi, David Ortiz. Dad's a plumber.
How about this? He's going to try to lay down a bunt, drag bunt from the left side. Now we
switching to the right side.
He's going to go to the right side. Okay, there's some versatility.
Swing and a miss. Goes down on 3 pitches. Is it fair for me to ask you, when was the last time you saw a guy change sides of the plate in the middle of an at-bat?
Well, what did you say before in the top of the first? You're going to see something maybe we hadn't seen? That was it. That was it. I said a walk-off, that's not going to happen. Well, probably not going to happen. You said an inside the Parker.
By Smith. Yeah. I even called my player.
Yeah.
But he didn't need to go inside the park because he hit a solo shot.
Neither one of them.
Dolphin using the quick feet. Fouls it away, 1-1. Cade Dolphin started this game on the mound for Iowa. Went 1 1/3. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Boy, Garrard has been kind of a mystery for Iowa. Seen a lot of bad swings. Here comes the 1-2. Just missed. Mekhi Garrard, number 42, trying to close out Iowa here in the 6th. Liner into left field for a solid base hit. Ball ricochets back towards center field. Dolphins going to try to take second base. He's in there. So that's going to be a base hit and an error.
Well, we saw this Iowa team last night down in the 5th and 6th, and they rallied for 4 runs. And really no give up in Rusty Shannon's Iowa team.
Reedburn is due. Number 5, he's out there with a bat.
We're at 20 pitches right now
Over here and step in line.
for Mekhi Garrard. And so you see both head coaches making changes to the scorekeeper. We're probably going to get a new pitcher that way. With that 20 pitch mark, Garrard could be available tomorrow, assuming that Missouri holds on and wins today.
Little League provides free web-based training resources to its local leagues, coaches, and parents. Launching in the fall of 2015, Little League will introduce Little League University, an interactive video-based training experience. For more information, visit littleleagueu.org for more info. Noah Mitchell will come on.
That's what I'm talking about. You see that 20 pitch threshold. If you go 20 or fewer after an appearance, you can pitch the next day, which is very important for Missouri, especially with an 8-run lead here in the last inning. So you see the more pitches you throw, the more days rest you could possibly have. And these coaches have to be on top of these rules with how many arms they may have available for a particular game. And it may be how many arms you have available for a particular game, not only the next day, but the following day if you're alive that far.
Now, Missouri's making plans for the future. They need 2 outs to advance in this elimination game. So Noah Mitchell came into the game as a pinch hitter, was not in the original starting lineup, played a little right field in this game, and now he's being called on to close things out. Dom Reedburn takes a look at a ball. Ball gets away. And Dolphin will move on down to third. Wild pitch. Iowa scored 3 runs in the top of the first, and you thought they were on their way to a big offensive day. Really hasn't happened. Next pitch is a ball, 2-0. In that uprising, Zach Truitt with a ringing 2-run double to play 2 of those 3 runs in the top of the first. But since then, nothing on the scoreboard for Iowa. Swing and a miss. And a big part of that was Cole Gaiman, who came in relief of McAllister, who started this game for Missouri and was brilliant. Fouls that ball straight back. It's 2-2. After Reedburn, we'll go back to the top of the order. Called strike 3. Boy, what a great breaking pitch from Mitchell. Totally fooled Reedburn. Couldn't pull the trigger. 2 down.
Now you talk about, looks like one of those Bill Lee Ephus pitches almost.
That was a great pitch. 15 strikeouts combined by the 4 pitchers today for Missouri. Berkheimer has struck out twice and singled. Led off the game with a base hit and scored the first run. And a slow roller to first. This should do it. And that's the ball game. McAllister steps on the bag. And that is it. 11-3 is your final. Missouri gets their first win here in the Midwest Regional, and they are going to be moving on.
Yeah, good team win for Eric Parker's team in Webb City, Missouri. 15 combined strikeouts, as you just mentioned, but the Sticks came out 15 total hits, 4 home runs in the game, 2 by Jaston Smith, one of those a grand slam. Cale McAllister and Blake Smith go back-to-back. And that's really pretty much the story of the game right there.
Great sportsmanship after the game. And we can move Missouri along in the elimination bracket as they have defeated Iowa 11-3. They will play the winner of the Kansas-Nebraska game going on Ferguson Field. Just got underway just moments ago. That game will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Rusty, final comment on the game today?
I tell you, very impressed with both ball clubs. Iowa showed a lot of offense in this regional. Congratulations to Rusty Shannon's team for a great season.
All right, so this one's over. Missouri moving on in the elimination round, beating Iowa 11-3. I'm Dave Weekley. We'll see you next time